Careers in art design. What interests you? Design-based careers. There are many art and design careers that you can pursue. There are more general degrees such as industrial design and graphic design that you can start off with in a range of careers from product development to illustration. If you picked any design-based career to pursue, what would it be? What about that career interests you? Graphic design develops visual concepts to communicate an idea with consumers. Designs for digital and print media. May focus on logos, advertising, branding, brochures, posters, displays, and more. Interior design. Designs spaces to be safe, functional, and aesthetically pleasing. Helps lay out a space and select decor. Selects paint colors, furniture, finishes, including doorknobs and outlet covers, etc. All the small things. Accents such as lighting, pillows, etc. An interior design actually actively focuses on all these things and it doesn't just happen. They draft designs by hand and digitally. These were all designs that someone chose to do, that put together, that was paid to do something for a client, or they did it themselves as an interior designer. Game design turns a video game concept into a playable game. May also be involved in the concept development. Could involve character development or game coding. Makes the game functional and enjoyable for the consumer. When Minecraft came out, it was from the outside laughed at because the graphics looked ridiculous and silly, where everything was starting to look more realistic. But Minecraft went the other direction and focused on gameplay and had a very stylized art form. And that guy is wearing a Batman costume from the 50s or 60s. In the upper right. Fashion design. Designs and assists with the production of clothing. Typically, a fashion designer crafts designs and sends them to production. They aren't necessarily doing the sewing, but some are involved in that process. Actually, a lot are involved in that process or heavily involved in that process. Because it opens up so many more options if you can sew and you have an idea for something and you're able to make some kind of version of that after making it digitally or drawing like in this slide here. While sewing isn't always necessary, knowledge of sewing ability is very helpful. May draft by hand or digitally. Thinks about materials, style, wearability, and more. You've got the drip in the middle. Urban design. The design of city features that focuses on aesthetic and user experience. Deals with the big picture, such as how architecture looks grouped together and what should be grouped together, as well as small pictures such as how a user will experience the space from crosswalk locations to sidewalk width. It can be applied to college campuses, parks, city blocks, entire towns, and more. Speaking of design of crosswalks and spaces for people to walk, I'm going to go back to the interior design. Here at Lincoln, there is not enough room for people to be at their locker and try to walk past them. That's bad design. That's 1925 state of mind as far as people using the lockers goes. And new schools and Lincoln 2.0 will have wider hallways. Landscape architecture. A landscape architect or landscape designer develop a plan for outdoor space. This includes drafting by hand and digitally through programs such as AutoCAD. Design work includes grading spaces, laying out planting plans, hardscapes such as decks, paths, and sidewalks, and similar. Projects can include residential outdoor space, commercial outdoor space, college campuses, playgrounds, recreational areas, pools, and similar. Other design careers: architect, illustration, book cover design, industrial designer, art director, stage design, costume design, website design, graphic novelist, magazine layout, fiber artist, toy designer, photographer, accessory design, fashion merchandising, animator, app designer. Your assignment is going to be up here and research an art or design-based field. You're going to select one that piques your interest. You're going to dive deep into that career. You're going to create a PowerPoint or Canva, just a presentation, on your design career. It's going to include pictures that highlight the career and show your aesthetic. Look into a designer who works in that field and shares their work. That one in the lower right is the absolute hardest one to find. Only about a third to a half of students actually find someone who has articles about them or just might be a famous designer in that field. If you're doing clothing, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier. Architecture, it's going to be easier. Your presentation must include the following: educational information, how you're trained for this career path, primary focus of the job, a typical project in this career, what about this career interests you, additional information such as salary, hours, job availability, etc. Now that one is going to have a whole wide range of stuff that you could do, and if you find an example of what someone was paid or what someone might have for that, that's wonderful. It doesn't have to be an all-encompassing thing, just like every career has a wide range of pay. Find an example that you love and find out who was responsible for the design. Share that information about them. So those last two, those are the more challenging ones. Hopefully we can find something for you. So there's a brainstorm sheet that right now I don't know exactly where it is. If I have it, I'll put it on Schoology. PowerPoint presentation, inclusion of information, educational information where you're trained, primary focus, typical project, why that career interested you, additional information such as salary, hours, job availability, deep dive into a single designer if you can find them, and images. All right. Bye.